We've got some exciting news for all you Marvel maniacs out there.
That's right. We're inviting you to join our exclusive Marvel Movie Minute membership program.
For just $5 a month or $55 a year, you'll gain access to a world of marvelous perks that will make you feel like you've been hit with a dose of super soldier serum.
As a member, not only will you get bad puns like that, you'll also get your own private podcast feed delivering early, ad-free episodes straight to your ears faster than Thor's hammer flying back to his hand.
And members also get access to periodic bonus episodes exclusively for our most dedicated fans. Consider it your own personal Jarvis for Marvel movie content.
Plus, you'll gain entry to our exclusive Discord community, where you can chat with other Marvel fanatics just like you. It's like you're assembling your very own team of Avengers.
Most importantly, by becoming a member, you'll be directly contributing to the show you love and helping us keep Marvel Movie Minute running strong. We value your support more than all the vibranium in Wakanda.
We can't thank you enough for being part of our journey through the MCU. You're the Pepper Potts to our Tony Stark, always there by our side.
You're the arc reactor to our Iron Man suit, the Heimdall to our Thor, the horny jokes to our Deadpool.
The gamma radiation to our Bruce Banner.
Well, maybe not that one.
I'm sorry.
So what are you waiting for? Don't be like Hawkeye, always getting left out of the action.
Head over to truestory.fm/join and become a member today.
Join us, and together we'll explore the Marvel Cinematic Universe like never before.
Step up to the streets and become the hero of your own story.
Excelsior, true believers. With your support, we'll make this membership program a smash hit. Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts.
Horror movies get a bad rap. They're cheap thrills, mindless gore, not cinema, blah, blah, blah.
But we here at Sitting in the Dark know better. We know that horror is more than just jump scares and chainsaws. It's a reflection of our deepest fears, our anxieties, Okay, and there's a lot of jump scares and chainsaws.
Join us, Pete Wright, Tommy Metz III, Kyle Olson, and Keenan Diaz, as we cut into the dark heart of horror cinema.
Every episode, we explore a different facet of the genre, from survival horror to home invasions, from zombies to birds. We tickle the tropes, analyze the angles, and sharpen our own axes along the way.
We'll introduce you to the classics that shaped the genre.
And the modern masterpieces that are pushing the boundaries of terror.
Sitting in the Dark is your guide to navigating the terrifying, thrilling, and sometimes hilariously bad world of horror movies.
We'll help you understand why we love to be scared.
And maybe even convert you into a horror fan yourself.
So turn off the lights, close the basement door,
and join us.
Sitting in the dark.
In a world where podcasts are a dime a dozen, one show dares to stand out from the rest.
The Film Board, a podcast unafraid to tell it like it is.
We're here for one reason and one reason only. Downloads.
That's right. We review new release movies because that's what gets people's attention.
But just because we're in it for the clicks doesn't mean we don't take our job seriously.
We're part of the Next Reel family of film podcasts, and we're proud of it.
Our reviews are just as insightful and thought-provoking as any of our other film podcasts.
It's just that this podcast is all about that sweet, sweet SEO.
The nectar squoze from the tree of Bing.
We're only human, but we're also creators.
And creators eat clicks to survive.
So if you want honest, unfiltered opinions on the very latest movies right on opening weekend,
delivered with the self-awareness of a team looking for downloads,
then tune in to the Film Board,
where every download counts, but yours counts the most.
Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a weekly podcast which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 5-minute segments and then examine them in excessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Storywell podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco and Kyle.
Yes, Rob.
1985 is known for a lot of things. Coca-Cola changed its formula and released new Coke, shaking the carbonated beverage world to its core. Back to the Future is released, changing Calvin Klein forever. A comic strip featuring a young boy named Calvin and his stuffed tiger named Hobbs debuts in newspapers across the United States. And the world meets Angus MacGyver, the heroic protagonist in a new TV series called MacGyver. He's played by Richard Dean Anderson, and the show inspired a 2016 reboot, as well as a insanely successful Saturday Night Live parody that was made into a movie in 2010.
Which was not insanely successful.
No. There's a scene in that movie. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah. Another one.
MacGyver is a non-violent problem solver and typically eschews the use of guns. His violent actions are performed only in self-defense, and he takes non-fatal action when at all possible, while jerry-rigging a whole bunch of different things to make things out of nothing. That plays not so completely into the episode we're about to talk about.
That's right, because we're officially DIY here on Iron Man 3 from 2013, directed by Shane Black, written by Shane Black and Drew Pearce. We are coming back to Rhodey, who has successfully liberated a sweatshop, apparently. He's,
or not. We
don't know.
We don't know.
Apparently they're like, hey, a guy in armor showed up. It's break time. And they're just head out for lunch. So all these people are rushing past Rhodey, who apparently had bad intel given to him at where the Mandarin's location was. So he busts into this where a bunch of women are sewing. And this could be just a small business. We don't honestly know anything, so we can't make too many assumptions. So as they're rushing out, they're all patting him on the shoulder and thanking him, or that's at least he thinks. So he's been like, yeah, sure. He says, happy to help. No need to thank me, ma'am. It's my pleasure. And so one of the ones goes and vigorously shakes his hand. And then something goes terribly wrong because her hand begins glowing, as do her eyes. And in, I would say, less than 10 seconds, he is flat out and on the floor and incapacitated. Wow.
What happened? Okay, first of all, by the way, Don Cheadle.
I don't know. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So, but when this happens, and immediately as the viewer, you know immediately what's happened. It's the extremis, right?
Extremis, yeah. Somebody had her arm is glowing, and then his arm is glowing, and then he falls.
As soon as she does this, activates the effect. It goes to Don Cheadle in the inside the mask, and he's got a look of just, oh no. It's comical, actually, almost, right? So then you see the eyes.
Yeah.
He goes stiff. He goes stiff board.
Yeah. His down. You can see the armor it ignites essentially like that. His armor goes bright orange as from where she's.
His whole right arm. His hand's gone. Is it not melted with the metal? I don't understand what happened here.
Yeah, this is my question too. My no prize would be that because AIM worked on this armor, they know a way to override it, and there's some kind of heat sensor or something that they built in to do that. That's what my justification of it would be, because otherwise he is taken out like a punk, and that's not cool.
Wow, somewhere Bucky is going. Dang you, Wakandans! You have a secret. You have a secret handshake.
The secret handshake.
So, which, wow, no pun intended.
No, but honestly, the AIM secret handshake immediately disables.
And I'm done.
You just drop the mic. You can head out right now. That's fine.
I'm done.
So then, as Rhodey falls, immediately, frozen, the person goes out and turns, and now since we know this is extremist, we know that he was not given bad intel. He was specifically directed to a location where there was an extremist soldier waiting for him to take him out. This is all part of the plan. So he needs to fire his team because they led him directly into an ambush. But
it's all bad.
As the soldier then pulls off her burqa to the top part, and we see this is Rebecca Mader. She has 51 at present IMDb. She got her first big break on One Life to Live. She was in Devil Wears Prada. She's been in 2 Law and Orders. And what's weird is she was on Lost as Dr. Charlotte Lewis before this. She was on the #1 show just a couple of years before this. And now she gets one line in Iron Man 3. I know no shade to her. She's doing fine. She's continued to work. But this is weird. Why is Rebecca Mader in one scene of this movie She's like
Hollywood.
a big deal.
Hollywood is weird.
Like, because later on the same year, so like this movie gets released in May. In the fall, she appeared as the Wicked Witch of the West on Once Upon a Time, which was again a top 10 show on ABC.
Seriously?
Yeah, she did a huge arc on Once Upon a Time, and even it was in the final episode and stuff too. Like it was a big deal. Like Once Upon a Time was a big deal at its time. So she was on 2 back-to-back really popular shows and Law and Order in the midst of it, and yet has this one thing here. All I can think of is this was like hey, we have this one thing. Would you want to come in and do this?
And she's like, sure.
I don't know. Maybe there's a connection between them where they're just like, hey, like we got this one. How about come in to meet John Cheadle, do this one thing?
Is this an editing? Well, maybe Don Cheadle. Maybe it's just some dude in a suit. We don't know.
Honestly, yeah, it could be the stuntman. It could have just been a dummy. Like it literally.
It's not Don Cheadle.
At this point, we know most of the armor was never even built. Most of that armor is just pure CG.
She's just standing there with nothing. Like.
It's weird, but I mean, it's like, once again, no shade. Yeah, take the gigs where you can get them, but it just seems weird that it wasn't like that. Like we had where you see somebody show up and then later on they pop. Like, no, she was pretty well established. Like I think everybody in the theater would have been like, hey, isn't that Charlotte from Lost?
So wait a minute. So she could show up anywhere else in the movie, or is this it?
No, this is it.
This is it. And her character has no name because in the script it's just woman.
No, yeah, it's just woman.
Oh, interesting.
I know it's odd. So yeah, maybe we'll see down the line. Maybe something will resurface as I'm doing research.
If anyone knows her,
reveal this. Yeah,
if you like to tell us the backstory,
British actress who once again does a really good American accent.
We would love to talk to you.
Yeah,
I mean, it would.
Like, tell me about your one day on Iron Man 3.
Seriously, boy.
And also, bonus nerd cred, she appeared on Sparks, Nevada, Marshall on Mars as part of the Thrilling Adventure Hour, which is one of my favorite podcasts of all time. So she says, Savin, I've acquired the Patriot armor. And then Rhodey says, if you want this suit, you're going to have to pry my cold, dead body out of it. And she says, that's the plan, Colonel.
Can I tell you what would have been funny? Can I tell you what would have been funny?
Sure.
If right then when she said that, she lifted up a can opener and just had a can opener, and then go back to Don Cheadle just going, oh no.
Yeah, it goes back to the whole "I'm a man in a can" thing, right?
Oh man.
So we then cut back to the highway, probably still in Tennessee. So Tony has that. So that I guess that was a wrap on Madam Pally because he is we moved on from there. So Tony is still driving. Do we know where Tony is going? Like he did the whole satellite thing. So he got the data he needed. He got the information. He knows AIM. He knows. All stuff is involved, and now he's back on the road and he's calling Harley for an update. Where is he going?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he's not. I don't think he's driving back to Rose Hill to go back to get his armor. I mean, maybe he is, but like, he's not going to the airport. Like, where is? You're in Tennessee. Where are you driving?
I don't know. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I don't know. So anyway, so he's driving along and calls Harley, and he says, "Harley, tell me what's happening. Give me a full report." And so Harley is then sitting in his little workshop area and has a bunch of stuff around him, and he has a bowl, and I believe these are Smarties.
They're Smarties.
They had the divot, like sort of the rounded edge into it, and they're very small. So they're not Sweet Tarts. I think they're Smarties, but they're
Smarties. And by the way, Smarties can be confused because I think Smarties in other countries is a different type of candy entirely.
Oh, really? Okay.
But these are just basically compressed pellets of powdered sugar.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
They're different flavors, but are they?
Nah, well, I do like to separate mine out. I am kind of like that. But and they just, you bite them and they immediately disintegrate.
Yeah,
and you just got a mouthful of powdered sugar.
That's right.
Yum.
It's just a chalky delivery system for sugar.
Yes.
That is no shade to Smarties, but
sorry, we love them, but yeah.
Not my top 10. So Harley says, "Yeah, I'm still eating that candy. Do you want me to keep eating it?" And Tony says, "How much have you had?" Harley says, 2 or 3 bowls, which it's 3. It's 3 bowls.
Wow.
Come on. That's a lot. That's quite the sugar buzz he got going. But at least he didn't tell him to chug a Red Bull or something.
Jeez.
Just a lot of Smarties. Tony says, "Can you see straight?" And Harley says, sort of.
No, you can't.
That means you're fine. Give me Jarvis. Jarvis, how are we? So, hey, Jarvis is back online. Hooray. I'm sure now, after all that, like he's back up to full speed. You know, he's going to be the Jarvis that we knew of from the Avengers and from Iron Man 2, like top of the line Jarvis. Here we go. Jarvis says, I'm totally fine, sir. I do seem quite well for a stretch. And then at the end of the sentence, I say the wrong cranberry.
Oh, no.
That's a good joke, though. And sir, you were right. Once I factored in available AIM downlink facilities, I was able to pinpoint the Mandarin's broadcast signal, which, okay, he got signal right. I don't know why cranberry, but not signal. But
that joke had one beat. That was it.
I guess maybe he's doing well for a stretch. Maybe that's the thing. So Tony says, what are we talking? Far East, Europe, North Africa, Iran, Pakistan, Syria. Where is it? Actually, sir, it's in Miami. Tony says, okay, kid, I'm going to have you walk you through rebooting Jarvis's speech drive, but not right now. And that's where minute 71 comes in. As 72 starts, Harley then is looking at the screen, which he has, I guess, he has a television, I guess, hooked up to Jarvis and the suit.
Well, it looks like, which by the way, I think, now you can't really tell in this scene, but I don't think we mentioned this in a previous minute. Dell Inspiron laptops are there, and I think that's another one of them here.
Yeah, I tried to figure out what the model was, but I couldn't exactly. I knew it's Inspiron, but I couldn't figure out what the exact model of it was. But you can see the logo for Inspiron once again glowing on screen.
Yeah.
And so Tony says, Harley, where is he really? Just look at the screen and tell me where it is. And Harley says, it does say Miami, Florida. Tony says, okay, first things first, I need the armor. Where are we at with it? Harvey says, it's not charging. And this is not what Tony wants to hear. So he immediately goes into almost a full-on panic attack and yanks the car over the side of the road, slams on the brakes. Like this is absolutely not the information that he wanted to have now. This is the most raw nerve, Tony, we've seen in a long time, too, because he was like looking forward to getting back into the armor and getting back in action. Now, all of a sudden, the suit is not working. And like this apparently is the last straw because he immediately starts like freaking out. Jarvis then corrects, says, actually, sir, it is charging, but the power source is questionable. It may not succeed in revitalizing the Mark 42. And what it looks like is it's hooked up by jumper cables to a car battery.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm not really surprised. I mean, it runs off of an arc reactor, so I'm not surprised that a car battery is not doing enough to do it. I can see where it bring Jarvis back up, but probably not an entire, highly sophisticated suit with all of its individual pieces that can fly independently and have a central control point.
Which, by the way, note on this, it's been a long gap since we've seen Iron Man in an Iron Man movie.
Yes, I was thinking about that. In the last minute too, I was like, for an Iron Man movie, we haven't seen the armor in a while.
Not a whole lot of Iron Man, but I mean, we're getting there.
Quite a few episodes. But at the same time, this is more of a Tony Stark movie. Even though it's called Iron Man 3, it's really Tony Stark more than Iron Man because Tony Stark appears in it a lot more than Iron Man actually does. But
it's actually all the mechanic. Could you imagine what if they would have just called it the mechanic?
Well, I think Jason Statham would have been angry about that.
Oh crap! You're right.
You do not want Jason Statham angry.
Oh God!
Nor do you want me to break out my Jason Statham impression because
I walked into that.
So Tony says, "What's questionable about electricity?" All right, it's my suit, and I can't. And he's freaking out. I'm not gonna. I don't want to. And he starts having the breathing heavy. Oh God, not again. So Harley says Tony, and Tony gets out of the car and has a door open. So he must be actually been able to connect the phone that he got from Harley to the voice system that's inside of Gavin's car.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's the power of Audi.
Sure. Don't think too hard about that.
So he's sitting on the ground next to the open driver's side door, having this panic attack and says, oh God, not again. But he can still talk to Harley through the phone, through the car. So Harley says, are you having another attack? I didn't even mention New York.
Oh, Harley.
Kid. Right. And then you just said it by name while denying having said it. Harley's like, okay. And Tony's like, oh God, what am I going to do? And Harley is trying to help him through this once again. Just breathe. Really, just breathe. You're a mechanic, right? Tony says, right. Harley says, you said so. Tony said, Yes, I did. So Harley said, as minute 73 starts, Harley says, why don't you just build something? And like that is what clicks over. So suddenly all the energy just dissipates and he just goes, okay. Thanks, kid. Like, it's like, oh, right, I could build something. And that is what that sets him on the path or whatever, too. So Harley, while doing some damage, did end up sort of knowing that now, and having spent enough time, and end up righting the ship and sort of sending Tony in a different direction.
By the way, I love this. This is a good tip for life. Like, all of us deal with roadblocks. We all deal with writer's blocks, all different types of blocks, creative blocks, everything. It is great advice to just say, hey, you know what? Do what you do. Like, do what you do best in those situations. And I appreciate this. I think this is a great character moment once again, because we talked about this in halftime. Harley is the star of this movie.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I say that, they're trying to push Ironheart, but like Harley's right there. So we cut to. Well, before we cut to, I want to take a second here, because we're about to get into a big montage thing, and we're going to talk about a bunch of the stuff. But so this is we're going to jump to the once again here, we're time traveling. We're going to jump to the end of the movie, and we're going to come back here. So at this point, as an audience, we're like, okay, his armor's not working. He can't. It's not available. So he's going to have to do something else. Like Tony Stark has to do something outside of the Iron Man armor to do this, because Mark 42 is not working. Jarvis is working. We know that. We know now here in the future times in the Marvel Movie Minute that Jarvis can remotely access about 40 armors, less than 40, 33 armors.
Yes.
Let's say, right now. And they're all fully powered up with their own arc reactors and can travel wherever he wants them to. So why are we about to have a shopping montage? And then
why are we going to go MacGyver?
Yes.
Listen.
Well, we'll talk about that scene. We're coming up. But why does this need to happen? Because he has so many suits that are fully intact that he knows are there that he could summon at any moment. Now that Jarvis is back up.
Dude,
so
because
why does he not? You
answered this in the previous episode. Because the writers and the people who are developing this movie went, oh, this would be cool. And yes, there are some people in the audience who might go, wait, why is this happening? But it's cool. They'll go with it. Just go with it.
Yeah, this is the thing that bugs me. Like I feel like this could have been addressed in terms of, I don't have enough power to communicate with the Stark servers. I'm only in this suit right now. But at this point, we know there's nothing to prevent Jarvis from reaching out. And as far as we know, like there's nothing in the movie that says Jarvis can't contact Stark Central and be able to do it, because nothing changes except the suit being powered up. So is like he doesn't have enough power to like run the Wi-Fi, whatever the cell chip that's inside him. That doesn't. I don't know. This kind of stuff is what bugs me about these things. I know it's nitpicky, but welcome to the Marvel Movie Minute. So
I'm not happy. Can I tell you something? I'm not happy about this.
But you know what would help? Maybe a little retail therapy, because we're headed to the Ace Hardware at 1831 Dawson Street, Wilmington, North Carolina. It actually is still there and is still an Ace Hardware. My grandfather worked for Ace Hardware for like 20 some odd years. So Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, man. And it is. They don't actually say Ace anywhere in it, but this was shot in an Ace. And like I could tell as soon as it cut to the aisles going through, I'm like, oh, that's an Ace Hardware. That's absolutely. I spent a lot of time in there.
You know what's amazing? You know what's amazing about this? I will just tell you though, they could have shot this in an hour because, in fact, they didn't even have to clear the store.
Yeah,
it's all mostly up shots, so you're not getting anyone around him except for the one where he crosses aisles. This literally took nothing. I say this. Yeah. There was very little to the production of this.
Yeah, I'm hoping this wasn't a day shoot. Like this seems like you could be wrapped by lunch.
Yes,
and then leave second unit behind to do all the shots of the individual things.
And don't forget, he also donned the official MCU disguise.
That's true.
Before he's going here, he put his cap on.
Ball cap. because
yes.
So he goes on a shopping spree. So very quickly, we see bolt cutters, we see Bloom Special Fertilizer, that's the brand name. We see the Burns-O-Matic Duracast 4000 torch, which is a real thing. I thought Burns-O-Matic, that's funny. Like, no, that's the real company. They still make apparently they have perfected the art because you can buy this exact model right now for your Tony Stark running around through Miami cosplay. Has an instant on-off ignition, a swirl flame profile, and a flame lock option for continuous use. It's designed for use at any angle and is pressure regulated to reduce the risk of pulsating or yellow flames when inverted, making it ideal for large diameter soldering, light brazing, woodworking, and cooking.
Have you ever used one of those torches like that before?
I have never used one of those torches.
I have a large one that I use to burn weeds.
Ah, okay.
Only in the winter, not in the summer, because it's very hot here. That's like one of the best ways to play with fire. It's so satisfying. Or if you're trying to sear a steak. Anyway.
Oh, okay. So the Burns-O-Matic Duracast 4000 has many uses around the house.
Yes,
and Tony's going to find a whole different use for it here soon. He picks up a 3M from the famous company particulate respirator dust mask, an N95, as we all know way too well. He sees some green Christmas tree ornaments, which is interesting because next time we see these ornaments, I don't think they're green. He also picks up green lights, fire ant control with conserve. I tried to find more information about this. It really is a real product, and I searched for it, but I could not find the green light company. You can buy this, but it must be like a weird shell company that's held by like a Home Depot or something. It must be like one of those brands within brands, kind of like Walmart has its own house brands and Target has its own brands. This must be a house brand for somebody, but I couldn't find it. But you can buy this legit fire ant control with conserve. And then we see, then Tony checks out, buys all of these things, and then is back in a hotel room. It looks like.
Hold on, you're missing one of the funniest parts of this. He's buying a toilet seat. There's a toilet seat cover in there.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right in the first when he's as he's getting to the checkout, he's got two carts, and that's at the back of the front cart.
Okay.
However, when he's getting over to the checkout area, he's passing these aisles. There is a woman in the background. She's buying a level and a bunch of other stuff. But we have a giveaway. We have an unfortunate prop mistake.
Oh, okay.
He passes an entire section of pool toys. Which, if this was December, no Ace Hardware would have pool toys out.
Yeah, true.
So I actually did find that very funny.
Yeah. Because as we've seen, like there was a snowball fight in a couple minutes ago. It's dead of winter.
Yes. So there's that.
So we have he has now gotten a hotel room. It looks like he is back and has a bunch of stuff laid out on this area. So he has put together some sort of version of a nail gun. Mm-hmm. He has a taser that's powered by AAA batteries. He has a glove with some wires on it, and he has a bunch of bottles with syringes into the top of them. So now we know where he is going because he actually is driving from Tennessee to Miami, Florida. So we got to his car on the highway. He is traveling west on I-195 over the Julia Tuttle Causeway. Thanks to our friends at MCU Location Scout for doing this on. I was curious why it's called the Julia Tuttle Causeway. It's because Julia Tuttle was an American businesswoman who owned the property upon which Miami, Florida was built.
Oh.
So she is known as the Mother of Miami. She's the only woman to have founded what would become a major American city. So how about that? So shout out to Julia Tuttle and her family. So as we then cross over the highway, we get a title card comes up that says Miami, Florida. So that's where he was going. So he was headed south, had been through. So he probably went through, Atlanta, Georgia, where a bunch of the MC movies were shot. So, inside, outside, upside down. Mitt 74 hits. We see Tony then at the establishing shot of the mansion, which we'd seen before. Exterior one, location, interior one. Go back to previous episodes to talk about that. And a bunch of guards are patrolling around as Tony's watching. I could not find the name of that dog. I know people were desperate. Like, what is the name of that dog who only shows up in this one scene? However, I can tell you it was trained by Kimberly Andrews, who also did John Wick 3 and 4, which had a lot of dog stuff, and fallout. So she knows her way around. Movie dogs. So then Tony climbs a wall and then starts taking out guys. Okay, so this is where we get into our full-on MacGyver thing of finding out all these things. Okay, so I have the list of all the things. So I'm going to tell you how they were taken out to tell you who the people were, because IMDb is great, but they don't have them listed in the right order.
Also, wait. Also, we should just note the funniest thing of this with the script is the working script that we have. This entire minute, the script is cut to Miami, Florida. Tony climbs wall and begins fighting guards.
Yeah, that's like that's the rest of the minute. One sentence, and that's all of minute 74 and into 75 is this fight. This huge montage of stuff, and it's just like he fights guards. Well, jeez, technically true, but yeah. Okay, so we got 5 guys to get taken out very quickly. 1, bolos to the ankles. That's Kevin Arnold, 58 Senate credits on IMDb. Will go on to work on Captain America: Winter Soldier and both Black Panther movies. Number 2, shot in the dart to the neck and then a knee to the balls is Paul O'Connor, who has 101 stunt credits, including Hunger Games, Logan. He'll be in Infinity War and Endgame, Loki, Captain America: Brave New World, and Thunderbolts asterisks, because at this point, that's still what the title of the movie is. Okay, number 3, tasered is Juan Bofil. He has 145 stunt credits, including Black Adam and another Apple TV Plus exclusive, Bad Monkey, which is a really great show if you have not seen that. Number 4, taken out by exploding ornament, is Adam Lytle. That is, he has 51 stunt credits, including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War and Endgame, Captain Marvel, WandaVision, Hawkeye. Like, this is a go-to guy when it comes to Marvel stunts. And then nail gunned, then dropped into a fountain and then exploded in that fountain is David Buglioni, 43 stunt credits, including House, Daredevil, and Leverage Redemption. And that is the montage of Tony taking out the probably not top of the line Mandarin guards.
I want to say a few things. First of all, the ornaments have changed colors. Now they're blue.
Yes, now they're blue.
They were blue on the bed when he was putting everything together. So right. Sure. Somebody had to go back when they filmed this. Somebody said, "Hey, we need ornaments," and they found a sleeve of green ornaments.
Yeah. Oh, they shot this before they shot the scene of him shopping.
Of all these, and some of these people may have died. We don't know.
Oh yes, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
The guy who gets bandoliered and then face plants onto the steps, that sucks. I think that's pretty bad. The guy gets shot with a nail gun, that's totally bad. Anything else get kicked in the balls. The guy that's tasered hurts, but he's probably okay.
Yeah, he's probably all right.
I have that guy who picks up the ornament. It's a glass ornament.
Yes.
I just want you to say, like, can you imagine just, look at this ornament. You pick it up and it explodes in your face.
Yes.
That's horrible.
That's pretty bad because you're getting shrapnel. In addition to the explosion, like you're getting shards of whatever that weird plastic metal, whatever that thing was made of.
But I gotta tell you, the worst though is the guy who gets shot with the nail gun.
Yeah, he drops headfirst into the fountain.
Face plants into the algae water in the fountain, and then gets blown up.
And blown up. Yeah. Yeah, there was a moment where I had all this stuff and I'm like, okay, I have a list of things that he shopped for and I know what he does with them. And I was like, I wonder how he created these explosives. And I was like, that is a fast track to get on a watch list. If I went like how to build a bomb using fertilizer or so they just show he bought some stuff from Ace Hardware, he made some explosives out of it, things happen. I'm like, I didn't want to go that far into doing that because so Tony then is in super spy mode. He had another disguise out of the thing, which is he has a hoodie pulled up and then his cool sort of tinted aviator glasses going around as he's got the glove and the thing. It's quite a look. I've actually seen cosplay of this too. It actually it's pretty cool. It's a very distinctive look. And he starts working his way through this mansion. So we see something. We see a woman apparently passed out on, is that a pool table? Or a ping pong table? I don't know.
It looks like two big folding tables.
Okay. So she is out.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like she's being held hostage. She just looks like
she's in a nice dress, even though she's passed out. And this is early in the morning. I guess we're assuming. I mean, like this is the next day, so this is Christmas Eve. I mean, we've crossed into.
It is.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty early there.
There's no trees and presents here. I don't see. There is though an interesting decoration at the back of the room. Okay. There looks to be like a 120-gallon aquarium that is filled with floating canisters, and I believe those are of beverages.
Ain't no party like a Mandarin party.
Oh my God, seriously.
So as Tony's going through, then we see come around, and there is a woman lying on a couch, and the title is Woman. I'm sorry. This is Sleepy Mandarin Girl. I forgot that's actually what she's titled.
Better.
So this is Gwen Barker. She's only been in 2 movies, this and Pain and Gain, and after that, I don't know what happened to her. I could not find her on the socials or anything else. So if she's out of the business, I hope that Gwen is living her best life and having a good time. So she says she's sleepy and drunk, apparently. And so it says, "Why is it so hot in here? I told you to put it 68, which is like, you're in Miami. Like it's going to be humid even in December. And so then we have the guard is annoyed by this and says, "My fault again. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. I am not your personal Eric." And that's when Tony puts a gloved hand on his head and electrocutes him to the brain. I mean, like sends a couple extra currents through his cerebellum.
I didn't have death by electrified oven mitt. I did not have that anywhere in the plan.
This is Steve Wilder. He has 24 acting credits on IMDb. He also starred on Days of Our Lives, another one. He was on Melrose Place, and he will show up again working with Shane Black in The Nice Guys. So Tony then sort of motions to the sleepy Mandarin girl, shh, whatever, and she sort of does this like drunken like finger guns back at him, like.
Well, because he's picked up his gun. He picked up the guy's gun
from the guy, and so she's and then that's it. She says she's gone. So I guess that's a wrap on Gwen Barker. We then see Tony starts making his way through the studio, essentially, like that we see like what we've seen before. It is deserted except for like the 2 people he met out here and of course the guys he just murdered out in the courtyard. But as he's going through, then we see a little bit of like the ins and outs of how this stuff is put together, and then Tony is seeing this for the first time. So obviously this is for him. This is like a big thing of like, oh, this is like this is a set. Like I'm seeing all the behind the scenes. So a couple interesting things. We see the footage from the live stream that they had just done, and we see the Mandarin sitting there, and they have the Roxxon executive is laying on the ground, but there is no gun and there is no blood. So is this from the test run, which goes along with my theory that the whole thing was a work, or is this just a moment from that they have freeze framed on? I think that this is like this was the test they did before the actual real broadcast, because it's very staged.
It's dead. He's dead. No, I don't think so.
There's no gun in the Mandarin.
He dropped the gun.
Blood on the guy.
He dropped the gun, and you can't see it. It's cropped right to where you would see the carnage from the guy's head.
There's no splatter. Like that, that is a promo shot right there. That is like the Mandarin. Like that is a camera test. That is the Mandarin posing with the guy. Like, oh, we want to make sure the lighting is right, because even the expression on his face isn't like wahaha, like I got you, Mr. President. So
it's like he's got his hand in his coat jacket, and he's like, it's like he's posing for an oil painting.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
maybe.
So we see then also a little bit of what would be on the teleprompter on the screen there, but it's not what he said before. It's something that I think we're going to hear, or we were supposed to hear later on. It says, "Hail to the chief. Here he is, your special boy, strung up like a," and then you can't read what the last line is too. But I think this is the speech that he's going to read at the end of the movie when they have the president captured. And is going through it. Like, this is a little foreshadowing. That is because, obviously, here's your special boy. As Tony moves through, we also see a makeup station and several mannequin heads with fake beards on them. So already Tony's starting to go, wait, hold on. And then I think even the audience going, wait, why are there fake beards in this thing?
These are just the accoutrements of a mastermind villain.
Sure. why did a astute man with a big beard need other beards? So like maybe something more going on here. Then Tony goes around and finds in the next room is a lot of the set pieces we've seen before, and a giant bed with this is probably a California king, even though we're in Miami. Yeah. And has a maroon bedspread duvet maybe over the top of it, and there's something moving underneath it, and so he moves his way slowly, and unfortunately that is where the minute ends. So at 75,
wait, that's where the episode ends.
That's where our episode ends. Yeah, so minute 75 ends with Tony heading towards this ornate bed where something's in there, perhaps a terrorist leader, perhaps something even more sinister, perhaps something even less.
If you haven't seen this before, I'm very excited because I would assume this is where we find the true volatility. Wow, I might have murdered that of the villain. And we find out who has been in control, who's been pushing all these levers, the master, as Maya likes to say. We're going to find out why this all has meaning.
That's right. And the one who's been pulling our strings is Mr. Pete Wright, who is one of the founders of TrueStory.fm. And he would very much like it if you would contribute back to the thing that he built that allows us to talk about things like this, which is the membership of TrueStory.fm. So if you go to TrueStory.fm/join, worship our master, podcast impresario Pete Wright, and co-founder Andy Nelson, who's always nice enough to do all the metadata for this show that goes up there, including the naming of the episodes, which is an honor that he takes very, very seriously and responsibly. And all the show art and promotion and stuff too. Like he's the reason anybody knows the show exists. It's not because of our dulcet tones, but the hard work on the social media side, and they deserve a little bit of love and attention, and maybe $5 a month, maybe $55 a year. Show them that you like what they do, and also help keep us employed.
All hail our True Story FM masters. I wish I had a group of people that'd be like, all hail our True Story.
Into our Discord channel and discuss, is Andy the Killian of the group, or is Pete? Is Pete the Mandarin of the group, or is Andy? I'll leave it to the people to decide.
Or which one's the Maya?
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, the discussion rages.
That would be me. That's me.
Into the Discord and join in. In the meantime, a huge revelation will be revealed, and we're going to meet the Toast of Croydon. Be here. Don't miss it. Enough said.
Bye.